Hello, everyone. Aren't you glad that we have the anticipation of the coming of Jesus, God wrapping up evil once and for all? Do you know that evil in the fall of Adam and Eve has actually penetrated the earth and the heaven and even the universe? Did you know that eventually God is going to melt everything in heaven and on earth with an elemental heat? Why? To burn out the corruption of the fall of man. We don't even realize the destructive nature of sin. Even in my daily walk, words of disobedience, words of grumbling and murmuring and complaining, all these kind of things release the negative impact of sin in my life, my purpose, my calling, my destiny. And that's why we understand that God's going to have to burn it all out and create a new heaven and a new earth. But when you think about all of that, I want to talk about during the millennial reign of Christ, and this is just a little side note of interest, is that what will be the nature of creation and of animals? Well, what God actually is going to do is to bring the fulfillment of the destiny of the animal world as well. So I want to read about in Genesis chapter 1, verse 29. Then God said, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of all the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed, it shall be food for you." Before the fall of Adam and Eve, after God had created them, the Lord said in that passage right there, it says, "I have given to you plant yielding seed. Every tree has fruit yielding seed, and it shall be food for you." The plants and the trees produce the food for man. So Adam and Eve actually walked in peace with the animals. Isn't that amazing? It also helps us to understand how the animals were brought before Adam, and he was given the opportunity to name them all. Why? The animals were at peace with Adam. They were at peace with man. Adam and Eve sinned then. They were cast out of the Garden of Eden. But then let me read for you what happened, and it didn't happen till after the flood. I find this so interesting. Genesis chapter 9. God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth." Well, that's what he had told Adam and Eve. Now he reiterates to Noah the same thing after Noah and the animals were rescued in the ark. God blessed Noah, "Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth." The fear of you and the terror of you will be on every animal of the earth and every bird of the sky, on everything that crawls on the ground and all the fish of the sea. They are handed over to you. Every moving thing that is alive shall be food for you. I have given everything to you, as I gave the green plant. But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. I certainly will require your lifeblood from every animal. I will require it. And from every person, from every man as his brother, I will require the life of a person. Whoever sheds human blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he made mankind. As for you, be fruitful and multiply, populate the earth abundantly, and multiply in it. So we find out that after God had made Adam and Eve, that he gave to them all the produce of the plants and of the trees. And he told them that you'll eat those. Adam and Eve fell. They were cast out of the garden. And then we find out that Adam calls the animals to come to the ark. And we say, how could that be? Because the fear of man hadn't fallen upon the animals yet. Adam and the animals in the ark, they go through the flood. And then we find out that God tells Adam and his descendants, "I want you now to multiply and fill the earth, and I'm giving you dominion." And then he says this, "As I gave you the plants to eat before, now I give you the animals to eat as well." And that we're told that after the ark, that the fear of man then fell upon the animals. And so we find out that even man, who was created to eat the plants and the animals, was now, because of the fall, because of the rebellion and all those things, God is saying to them, now you will eat the animals and the plants. And we seem to have the indication then that order of the animal world eating each other and man eating animals didn't happen till after the flood. And so isn't that interesting right there now? Because in the book of Romans, it tells us that all of creation is groaning, everything that was made, for the full redemption of mankind. That won't happen until Christ comes and he sets up his kingdom upon the earth. And then we're told by the prophet Isaiah, the wolf, Isaiah 11, the wolf will dwell with the lamb, the leopard will lie down with the young goat, the calf and the young lion, and the fattened steer will be together, and a little boy will lead them. Also the cow and the bear will graze. Their young will lie down together, and the lion will eat straw like the ox. The nursing child will play by the hole of the cobra, and the weaned child will put his hand on the viper's den. They will not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord as as the waters cover the sea. Here we find out that the Lord even says when the kingdom of God is restored on the earth, even the lion will begin to eat plants again. So all of nature will be in harmony and at peace with one another. It's a really beautiful picture. So, we're not the only ones saying, Jesus, I can't wait till I'm in your presence and I become like you and I can put down this battle against the world and the flesh and the devil. But all of the creation is groaning and waiting for that as well. It's going to be, when we walk the earth in the beauty of the kingdom of God, it's going to be amazing. And the level of peace and all of God's created order is going to be something that I think is just going to bring healing to any wound that we received in our hearts or in our spirits while we walk this earth. So we look, don't we, with anticipation of the coming of Jesus Christ.